Hello there, folks. Welcome to another video, a video solo fan commentary since Mr. Bill Paxton recently passed away, and I'm doing a little marathon of his movies. And then we get to Predator 2, which I've done a review for a while ago defending the film. I did a commentary with my friends Mike and Efree, and those are still up on the channel. If I remember, I'll put them down below in the info box. So what could I do differently? Because I did not want to skip Predator 2, because Bill Paxton plays a great role as Jerry Lambert. And Predator 2, right off the bat, to me, is one of the best sequels of all time. I can say that with a straight face. And the most underrated sequel of all time. I can say that once again with a straight face. It got a lot of crap when it came out. It did not deserve it. It continues to get crap. It does not deserve it. At times, I feel this is equal or even above the original Predator. And the original Predator is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film. That's how much I love Predator 2. It is extremely fast-paced. Danny Glover does an excellent job. You have a great supporting cast. Bill Paxton, Ruben Blades, Gary Busey, Robert Davi, Gordon Downey Jr. You have the score on Alan Silvestri has grew on me. At first, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I prefer the score to the original here with the little tweets he did with it, but it fits the film. And the score has grown on me. I don't really have much problems with the score anymore than I used to a few years ago. The pacing is one of the most quickest paced films I've ever seen. Stan Winston comes back. It's well directed. Sorry about that. But it's 2 minutes in. Let's get to it. I have the movie at 000. When I say 5, 3, 2, 1, press play. When I say press play on your DVD or Blu-ray or however you're seeing this. So, and people want to see me on camera talking about it. So here you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pressing play. We're at 3, 4 seconds, 20th Century Fox logo. We are at 10 seconds. The Fox logo. And Can Emilio for this. This is one of those films, like the first Predator, I can watch anytime and never be bored. And I've never understood the hate for this. I think it's a very different sequel. It was different from the first film. They did not just copy and paste. It was refreshing. And the first film was a build-up. It was a build-up because we didn't know what the Predator was and setting us in as to what the Predator can do, what he looks like. We already know that going to the sequel. And yeah, I know it's weird, Los Angeles 1997. But boom, let's get Predator 2 in there. The Predator is right there within 1 minute, watching everything as there's a heat wave in LA and everything's gone up shit creek. And well edited by Mark Goldblatt, who would go on to direct The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren and Dead Heat with Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams. Mark Goldblatt edited a lot of films, including Terminator 2. Good guy Jack Craven actually sent me a podcast with Mark Goldblatt where he talked about editing this film and how it was up for NC-17. It had to be cut back. Unfortunately, I don't think he went into details exactly what was cut out. And then he also said that one person puked at the NC-17 version of this. And apparently James Cameron liked Predator 2. Because, again, he would go on and work with James Cameron. He said, I like that movie. So apparently James Cameron is a fan of Predator 2. Even the reporter is like, get the fuck out of here. See, right there, we're 2 minutes in, we already have an action scene. It goes like a bullet, and it doesn't stop till the end of the film. If you like action, if you like R-rated, manly movies about men, no PC pussified bullshit, this is my kind of movie. This is your kind of movie. I do think the film looks pretty good on Blu-ray. Unfortunately, I think the first Predator has a DNR problem, but this looks great. This guy, I always remember, you fucking pendejos! And yes, I know one of the things people hate about it, Arnold's not in it. Well, you know what? Arnold was in Terminator 3, and that film sucked. Arnold was in Terminator Genisys, Sega Genisys, and that movie sucked. Just because Arnold's not in it is not good enough. Of course, that was a great explosion. Directed by Stephen Hopkins, who I think did this is easily his best film. Way step up from A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, which he had done before this. And after this, he would do Judgment Night, which is a really good film with Emilio Estevez. The Ghost in the Darkness. There's Morton Downey Jr. as Tony Pope. The hard copy type of. I mean, this is when they say a go for broke action movie. This is it. I mean, we're less than 4 minutes in, and here's our hero coming in. One of the most underrated characters in an action film, horror film, Danny Glover as Mike Harrigan. Love this character. It's my favorite Danny Glover role. I love him in the Lethal Weapon films, but this is my favorite role. And as a friend of mine said, it seems like when he shaved the mustache, the films would flop. Because he was also in a film with Martin Short called Pure Luck, and that film flopped. I I never understood why people hated Danny Glover. You know how nowadays they do that whole bullshit with the Ghostbusters? Oh, people hate it because there's stars women. Can I do that bullshit statement? You only hate Predator 2 because it stars a black guy. Can I do that? See how stupid that sounds? I should pull it out to anyone who hates Predator 2. You just hate it. Just give him in a tizzy fit. But Danny Glover, he's completely different from Arnold, which is a good thing. And also, look at, wow, a black guy is the lead of the film. And he's a badass. And he kicks ass. Hell, he does better at the end than Arnold does against the Predator. And he's a badass motherfucker. He has memorable one-liners. Right here, it shows that he's thinking on his feet. He's got his assortment of weapons in his trunk. He's a badass motherfucker. Let me get this shotgun to shove up someone's ass. Let me try to rescue my fellow officers. He's brave. He's thinking on his feet. He's using his wits. Let me use this cop car and also try to maneuver myself so that I don't get shot. That just I don't shoot the windshield, I won't be able to see out of it. And even the Predator is like, wait a minute. He's looking through this like, wait, who the hell is this guy? It's fucking Murtaugh. I better be on the lookout for this. This guy might be good prey. He might be a good, good guy to go up against. And he's doing everything naturally. It's not like he's leaping tall buildings in a single bound, punching holes through walls, and outrunning people like it's the Olympics. He's being a cop. And more cops look like Danny Glover than Arnold Schwarzenegger. It'd be a bear of bad news. And this is R-rated. I would love to see the NC-17 cut, but we'll never see it because it's 20th century futt face being futt faces. And yeah, these bad guys, they're snorting, they got guns, they got knives, they got sharp sticks. And yeah, the whole thing with, oh, Danny Glover, I don't buy him as the lead. I never understood that. I never understood that type of thinking. I never understood that type of mentality. Where you're, hey, assholes! Just shotgun fun, blowing motherfuckers away with a shotgun, using the door as cover, blowing everyone away. Just shows how much of a badass motherfucker, sort of his stick around moment for Arnold and Predator. This is his moment, just wiping these guys down with a shotgun. Even the Predator's impressed. He's like, holy shit, this is a bad motherfucker. He's black, so his dick's bigger than mine. And great support. Ruben Blades, María Conchita Alonso. Later on, we'll see Bill Paxton. Kevin Peter Hall come back as the Predator. And this is a badass motherfucking Predator. This Predator kicks a lot of ass. He kicks these drug dealers' ass. He'll kill some cops. He'll kill some Jamaican guys that are left the set of March for Death with Steven Seagal. And he kills Gary Busey's men. This Predator doesn't fuck around. And this is a badass motherfucker. This Predator would kick the Super Predator's ass in that Big Nose Brody's film Predators. I do not look forward to the Predator with Shane Black and Fred Decker, because Fred Decker, the last good thing he did was Monster Squad. And Shane Black, I liked The Nice Guys. Wait, how about you kiss my sweet ass? Come on. And that guy on the left there, that's the boss of Riggs and Murtaugh, the Lethal Weapon films. And but yeah, I mean, I don't look forward to the Predator. I've heard things. Maybe they're true, maybe they're not true, but uh, anytime they bring something bad, X Files turn to shit. Ninja Turtles turn to shit. I'm not talking about Fox. I'm talking about anybody. Dumb and Dumber 2, shit. Bad Santa 2, shit. Prometheus, kiss my ass. Alien Covenant, I saw the new trailer, did not impress me much. Oh, you hate everything. Oh no, I don't hate everything. I didn't name 50 movies I love in the past couple years. I love this movie. I'd rather watch this movie. And lo and behold, people have blood squibs because that's impossible to do today. And people say, "Oh, you hate everything." No, I'm just very hard to please, which I don't think is that bad. But this movie just goes. I mean, the past 10 minutes has been nothing but nonstop action. This guy head to toe in blood and just out of his fucking mind. And I guess I'm trying to piece together why this film has such a bad rap. So put it down, asshole! He sees the Predator, but Danny Glover takes him out. Hook, line, sinker. He did a Peter Pan off the building. Stan Winston did a great job on the effects of the Predator. The effects worked. The infrared vision. I know that wasn't Stan Winston, but I'm just saying I like that stuff. I think it's well edited. This is an hour and 40-some minute movie. I've never gotten bored watching this film. I think Danny Glover, he brings humanity to his role. Like, he's a normal guy. He's scared. He's breathing hard because of the hot weather. He's... Wow, the Predator's cloak actually works as it's intended. It brought new things to the Predator, new weapons, new toys, seeing the Predator ship, having the alien, the xenomorph skull at the end of the film. I don't get what people were mad about. Just because Arnold's not in it. Arnold was in Junior. That doesn't mean Junior's a fucking great movie. Shit. Is that called The Dutch Chronicles with Dutch Schaefer? It's called Predator. For fuck's sake. I'm not sure when it came out. Some places say November, some places say Christmas time, but it did not do well at the box office. It was reviewed badly. People called it mean-spirited. I don't think it's that mean-spirited. It only made $30 million in the US with a total of $57 million worldwide. Look at that. Just this really nasty chest just up and bones sticking out. Practical effects. It's nice to see those. Sadly, I have to go back in time to do that. And also, I'm tired of CGI enhancements too. And there are movies I love that do that. Rambo 4 has a lot of gore with some CGI enhancements, but sometimes I just would like to see an action movie that's a studio film release that this is bloody and just practical all over and no CG. Because I notice it. I'm not the only one who notices it. And I'm fine with not seeing the Predator do all this because the aftermath is so bloody, and we'll see the Predator kick a lot of ass. If the Predator only was in one or two scenes kicking ass, maybe that'd be a problem. But I just see all the blood on the walls, the blood on the ceiling, the blood on the floor, people just fucking painting the walls red. I can picture in my mind what happened in that room. It's kind of John Carpenter's the thing with the Norwegians, which we did not need a fucking prequel to explain. I could see what all happened, and this just reveal of guy. I love Ruben Blades' reaction. He doesn't know what to think. It's like, uh, do you see this shit? And then later on, when María Conchita Alonso was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, and yeah, they don't know how this happened, but he's like, "There's no rope, there's no ladder," and the Predator is strong. I mean, remember in remember in the first film, he picked up Arnold with one hand, and Arnold's a big guy, especially in '87. He picked him up in one hand, or backhand him, he flew like 5 feet. And I like that this movie is Take No Prisoners. Is what a Predator film should be. It has a pair of balls. Here we get Robert Davi, who was in Maniac Cop 2 and 3. He was in The Expendables 3 for a nothing part. He was the bad guy in the James Bond film License to Kill. Robert Davi's good in this. And Danny Glover, his character has a lot of personality and spunk. Don't let this get down, but it's a fucking war down here. And even the Predator's entranced in their conversation. That's why he's sneaking in. What's Murtaugh saying now? I keep calling him Murtaugh because that's how everyone knows him. But my favorite character, I don't roll anybody, especially the feds, with a good, goddamn good explanation. And from what I understand, when Arnold was thought of going and being in the film, there are people say it was for this role that Gary Busey plays. That he's coming out with Baldwin. Which Baldwin is that? Adam Baldwin, who is now related to Alec Baldwin and them. He just has the last name Baldwin. And Adam Baldwin, he was in Full Metal Jacket. But Gary Busey didn't Lethal Weapon reunion. People were saying that Arnold was going to play that part. And I'm like, if that's the case, then I'm glad Arnold did not do the film. So I don't know if he was going to be the star, or from what I understand, he was going to be the Gary Busey part, but I wouldn't want that. He's ready to knock Robert Davey down, Ruben Blades has to hold him back. It just says, sort of, relax, man. Oh, fuck! And then you got this sort of Spanish rap music, just showing how up shit creek LA is. In other words, today's age. Hell, 1997, you just put that 2017, and people are like, yeah, I buy it. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, Stephen Hopkins, he did a film called Dangerous Game, which I did see. It was there. But after this, he did Judgment Night, which was really good. He did Blown Away. Yeah. Good Explosions, pretty much it. Ghost in the Darkness, which I did not mind. Lost in Space, which was pretty lame. Did not see Under Suspicion. Did not see The Life and Death of Peter Sellers. The Reaping was pretty awful. And then Race, I did not see. And then this guy always seemed like a bad guy in that video game Final Fight with the sunglasses. He does remind me. He has like the clothes and the hairstyle. One of those guys you beat up in the Final Fight video game. Of course, Bill Paxton. Why we're here today. Just trying to flirt with this girl. The Lone Ranger. Bill Paxton. Already miss him. I mean, in a lead role, which unfortunately was rare, he did a great job, like in Twister, The Vagrant. Directing wise, from what I understand, he was going to direct another horror film, which I don't know much about. I have to look into it. But even the supporting role, he just brought something to the role. He was fun, he was energetic, he had energy, he was entertaining, he was a likable character, whether it be Hudson from Aliens, or he did a great job in Near Dark, did a great job in Weird Science. Of course, got to talk about Gary Busey as Tease. Great villain, great human villain, as well as the Predator. And Gary Busey, unfortunately nowadays, he's crazy. For what I understand, he had a motorcycle accident and that fucked with his head, and that's sad. I mean, I know he dealt with drugs, but, you know, having a motorcycle accident landing on your head, yeah, that's pretty sad. Because he's a good actor. He's great in Under Siege. He's great in Lethal Weapon. He's great in this movie. He was nominated for an Oscar for what was the Buddy Holly story. He does a great job as this. The slimy bad guy. Well, cooperation is my middle name. just just add that touch. Just let me buff that up for you. So you buff my ass. That's a great foil between the two, Danny Glover and Gary Busey. Just a wonderful cast. Like these people I buy as badasses. I mean, you got the guy who did the guy die. You got the guy who dealt with aliens. You got the guy who was able to survive Mel Gibson. If he's able to survive Mel Gibson's crazy ass, he can kick a Predator's ass. And this is the whole conversation of what the hell exactly happened. But see, the movie, it's always moving. It's always something happening, and there's always something going on. Give him a job. Let's put him on the payroll. And yeah, Bill Paxton, great work. Pretty much the new guy for the LAPD as the Lone Ranger from Rampart Station. That's the Lone Ranger? I thought he was here to fix the AC. And Bill Paxton, just a lot of fun. And even little touches. For example, the sweat underneath the suit. Because, again, they say it's a heat wave. It's going to be hot there. Little touches like that work when you pay attention to the film. And even they know it's a big mistake they're putting the moves on María Conchita Alonso. You try that cowboy shit with me, fucker. You kiss this. Goodbye. Yeah, I got it. If you're feeling up to it. Yeah, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's some places say he didn't like it. He didn't do the movie because he didn't there wasn't enough money. On IMDb, it says he didn't like the new director or script. I don't know what the reason was, but you know what? Arnold did not need to be in the film. It's called Predator. It's not called the Dutch Schaefer Chronicles. It made perfect sense. A predator being in a new city. It would be. Wouldn't people complain how convenient it'd be? Oh, Dutch Shaver is on another predator. The predator is supposed to be landing. He could land anywhere, be anywhere. So you want Arnold to be in it, even though it'd be more convenient, which is what people complain about in other strips. Here's the thing. Here, remember the door swings both ways. I use that all the time. The door swings both ways. I always thought that was a cool line. Simple, but it just welcome to the war. And this director knows what men want because, hey, let's have a woman moaning, writing, and get some titties. Titties. And more titties. Just have some titties. Some guys straight out of March for Death with Steven Seagal. Which I know that was one thing that Steven Seagal supposedly was going to be in Predator 2. Probably because Fox went, hey, this guy's making these movies that are hits and he's a new action guy on the rise. Let's get him because Above the Law and Hard to Kill were hits. Let's get this guy. But then someone's. I remember reading somewhere that Stephen Hopkins said no because he wanted Danny Glover, which I thought. I love Danny Glover in this, so I'm fine. Great, I'd be interested to see what Steven Seagal would have been in this movie. But Danny Glover worked perfectly. So they moved into March for Death, which has these kind of characters, these Jamaican drug lords. Yo history. Goddamn puto. Fucking voodoo magic, man. Another person he wanted was Patrick Swayze, but I remember hearing something he was injured and he couldn't do it. I'm not sure. Patrick Swayze would have been cool. Love Patrick Swayze. That's another guy I miss a lot. That's a guy I would love to do a marathon one day once I get some of his films like Steel Justice. What is it? Steel Dawn. Steel Dawn, among others. But yeah, I mean, this is stuff that you probably when I wish I could have seen this in the theater. Just people like, what the fuck's going on? I go see a Predator movie and now this guy's naked upside down and shit happens. This guy gets his stabbed, his heart cut out. That's what I talk about. Like, you didn't see what the Predator can do. Here you do. Just a hole in a guy's chest. I mean, we're less than 25 minutes in. We had the big action scene at the beginning, some fun dialogue with characters, fun interaction to get to know their personalities. You don't need Shakespearean build-up. That's not what these films require. And now we got another action scene where the Predator shows his new toys out. You know, his cannon, his net. I thought this was a cool idea where it goes in and cuts into your skin. Little Batman type things that hit you right in the head. There's just some fucking spears in there. And the old fashioned claw, just Wolverine style, right up their ass. And I haven't seen Loading yet. I don't know if I'll get time because I just don't have the disposable income to go to the theater. But boom, spear right in and right out. See, this Predator does not fuck around. And he took him out just like that. This is a Predator you don't want to fuck with. And that's the thing. We've seen what the Predator is. You don't need to have another, unless you could do it right. James Cameron, Aliens, he knew how to do that right. That's when James Cameron had a pair of balls. But that's a hard thing to do. And if you can't do that, then I would just prefer give me a fast-paced action movie. If you can't do build up right, then you're gonna be a boring fucking flick. I know a lot of people like the Godzilla 2014 film, but to me that build up was done wrong. Because you kill off the character people like, Bryan Cranston, you leave us with this boring sack of shit played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. PR is my specialty. Fuck you, Born Downey Jr. Yeah, I'll have Bill Paxton, man, in any movie. Always enjoyed him. Great actor, great character actor. A very nice guy named B Movie Mike said a very cool thing. He was kind of the A-list version of Bruce Campbell because you put him in anything, he just makes the film a bit better. That fun character actor. Only Bill was lucky enough to know someone like James Cameron long ago when they were on Roger Corman sets. Yeah, that's where we get our skinned folks in there. Brutal. God, I really would be curious to see what an NC-17 version of this, because that's some great makeup effects. I mean, you had skinned people in the first Predator, which is a classic. It is my favorite Arnold film. It's that, The Running Man, Commando are my top three, or Commando, The Running Man. I can never. It's hard, but those are my top three. So yeah, I mean, that's why it didn't make sense when I saw, for example, AVP, Assholes versus Penises, might as well be called. They would kill people, but then they weren't skinned because it's PG-13, and then they give some bullshit reason. Whoa, it's because of no, because you lost your balls, Paul Wildstalion Anderson, and you fucking did Event Horizon, which I enjoyed. That was R-rated, but let's do a pussified AVP movie. That's not the only reason it sucked, but it's one of them. The devil came from them. Yeah. Bill Pax is asking the right questions. We got a new player in town. Which that was a good tagline too. He's come to town with a few days to kill. I did think that was and even I remember the VHS where it's just a simple L.A. skyline, but in the Predator vision. I used to have that VHS. I love that, and I also love the poster. I'm going to have it on as this thumbnail with the Predators are leaning up. I always wish I had that poster. There's such a cool figure where he had the spear and he had the skull. That's such a cool poster. Dear Busey, don't fuck with him. See, Danny Glover has a good presence to him. That's another thing. Even without saying anything, he says it all with his body language. With, oh, you giving too much credit. No, he doesn't get enough credit for this. If I met Danny Glover, I would shake his hand. I would say, you know what, man, you did an excellent job. I know there's a guy named Corey who had told me he had met Danny Glover and had told him about how much he loved it. And he was a bit surprised because no one ever talks to him about Predator 2. I'm like, fuck, I would. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if one of those movies that he got shit on so much when it came out that if there's a way I could talk to him, Danny Glover, you did an excellent job in this. You did not deserve one bit of that. You have one of the most underrated characters in action horror film history. One of the most underrated. Bill Paxton chewing his gum there. Surveillance is my specialty. Go damn, Lone Ranger. And yeah, this movie just moves, and it moves like a freight train. I love it. The film was recut over 20 times, according to director Stephen Hopkins, because of more graphic shots of mutilated bodies and decapitations by the predator. Decapitations. I wonder if that's the Gary Busey's death scene at the end. Gary's. I got more Bill Paxton there. Gary Busey's character Tease was actually intended to be Dutch, Arnold's character from the first film. He was outspoken about the sequel's concept, feeling that taking it to the city was a bad idea and declined the role. You know what was a bad idea, Arnold? Having a fucking Terminator smile while he's doing a mud shot and, bad boys, what you going to do while you're doing this? That's a bad call, Arnold, for Terminator to say to Jenna shits. You know what's a bad call? How about doing a Terminator movie where you go talk to the Hand? That's a bad call. I bet if I polled 100 people, the majority of them would say the Predator 2 pissed the shit out Terminator 3 and Terminator City Jenna shits. You get 100 people, I think that poll, I'm pretty sure of the outcome of that. It's my sister. Hey, wait a minute, you're not my sister. Here we have Ruben Blades sort of going to his fate here, where they're trying to look for info because Gary Busey is an asshole and unfortunately meets his fate. Then it sort of becomes a revenge movie in a way, where Danny Glover wants to get revenge for the death of his partner. I like that little aspect to it. I'm just looking through some trivia on IMDb because I don't want to have too much dead air on here. Like I said, Kevin Peter Hall came back. He was the Predator in the first film. He Predator in this film. He also played Harry in Harry and the Hendersons, as well as a little bit of the TV show before he passed away. Also, in the first Predator, he has a role on screen as the helicopter pilot at the end of the film, where he's like, "Oh shit!" At the explosion at the end. Kevin Peter Hall, very much missed. He really knew how to move in that suit as the Predator. And you could tell because they're in the Predators afterward were not much to run home about. The spear weapon that was used in the film disappeared, was reported as stolen after filming was completed. Oh yeah, that whole thing with Ruben Blades. He was doing a live TV interview with Good Morning America. Stephen Hopkins walked on camera and said, Ruben Blades, we have to go back to work. And then there was an interview later where Stephen Hopkins apologized for that. John McTiernan did not come back because of money, and they wanted to keep the budget a little bit, not too much over. But yeah, I think Stephen Hopkins did a great job with this. The original storyline was to have taken place in New York City, but the writers quickly changed it to LA because of budget concerns. The scene where the Predator raises the skull during the lightning storm would have taken place atop the Chrysler building. This was the first film to be given the newly instituted NC-17 rating in the U.S. for its graphic violence before it was recut to its final theatrical length. Yeah, at one point Patrick Swayze was approached to star in the film, but was unable because he was injured during the filming of Roadhouse, which came out in '89. John Lithgow was director Stephen Hopkins' first choice for Peter Keyes, but producer Joel Silver pushed for Gary Busey instead. The first film Gary Busey made after his near-fatal motorcycle accident. And then John McTiernan, he said no to this, but then went on to do The Hunt for Red October. Studio kept pushing for Steven Seagal as the lead, which Stephen Hopkins declined. So Seagal went on to do the Jamaican theme March for Death. Yep, this is where he gets it. Hook, line, sinker. And, I didn't need to see Ruben Blades' death because for the little bit of time he's on, he's a likable character. And the way it's done, the sound effects, and then the bit of blood, and this weird noise at the end. I mean, he's begging for his life, saying, please no. You get this bit of blood and this weird, high pitched screaming, which is creepy. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Is that when your spine getting ripped out? When you get that skull. I mean, I don't know what the high pitched screaming is. Kind of creepy, though. Ice Cube's song Predator uses a sampling of the Jamaican gang leader's dialogue with Danny Glover's character. Huh. Yeah, Robert Davi, right here smoking a cigar. Always been a very capable character actor. Always nice to see him in a movie. So he starred in one called The Bad Patch, which pretty bad movie, but Robert Davi was one of the good things about it. It's a low budget action film with Roddy Piper and so forth, but of course this is, you know, what made Bill Paxton. He got killed. He got a Terminator, an Alien, and a Predator. Although I don't know if he dies in the Terminator. I just remember him being thrown back. I don't remember him dying though. But he definitely got attacked by all three. Yeah, this is where you sort of get this revenge aspect. Hey, Alan Silvestri, again, the whole Jamaican sort of beats kind of bother me at first, but I've grown to like them and grown to enjoy them actually because it made it its own thing. I always love this bit, just slamming right against the wall. This is a bad motherfucker. You do not fuck with Danny Glover. This is why I like this character. You don't know who you're dealing with. He's not a guy you don't walk over. Stay the fuck out of my way. And just that right there, just that intimidation thing. See, that's why I never understood when people gave credit to Big Nose Adrian Brody. As you can see or listen, I almost puked while thinking of Predators because that's what makes me want to do. Because I think Predators is a piece of shit. I'm sorry, Predators that Robert Rodriguez said is the true Predator sequel, the sequel Predator deserves. I'm like, yeah, right, Robbie Rod. You haven't made a good film in like 10 years. Like, the last good film you did was Planet Terror. For fuck's sake. Your fucking film you produced and wrote with Nimrod Anto, a guy named Nimrod. All it was a fucking remake of the first film, only with shitty people like Adrian Bidnose Brody and Topher Grace. Give me a fucking break. And yet Predators gets a 6.4, which it doesn't deserve, but this film gets a 6.2 on IMDb. Fucking horseshit. Fuck is so good about Predators? Let's get these shitty CGI dogs. Let's get fucking Big Nose Adrian Brody ripping off dialogue from the first film at the end with his shirt off, covered in mud. Come on, do it. Kill me now. Kill me, show my big nose of my ass. Topher Grace. Fuck's sake. Fuck Predators. You can suck my fucking white dick. Sorry, just enjoying the movie. But yeah, I never understood the big hate for this film. Never understood the big heat for this film. I always thought this was a good movie. I always thought this was a great flick. I think it works. I think it works perfectly fine. It's a fast-paced movie. It's an exciting film. Never gets slow. Never gets boring. It's sorry, I'm being so silent. I'm pretty much trying to get the characters' names. Try to get as much info for people out there. And the funny thing was, there was a Q&A for Aliens, Bill Paxton was a part of, At one point, Danny Glover did come by. And I think he said something to Bill like, "Aren't we getting too old for this shit?" And this is the only film I can think of that Danny Glover did with Bill Paxton. So I'm thinking, holy shit, it's like a Predator 2 reunion. Which that would have been great to see. It really would if this film got more. Because you've seen other films did reunions. Other sequels did reunions. I mean, look at Elm Street films that did reunions. And Friday the 13th films, sequels. Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It would have been great to see a Predator 2 reunion. Here's where Danny Glover's got to go see Teen Willie. Yeah, the film received negative reviews. Grossed 57 worldwide, considered disappointment compared to the previous film's $98 million gross worldwide on a smaller budget. Says it's become a cult film among fans. I don't know how true that is. And these reviews kill me, man. Deaths in Hell. Film was unoriginal and numbingly violent, but praised Glover's ability to bring warmth to the center of a cold film. Because God forbid a film called Predator is violent. New York Times Janet Maslin, the most mindless, mean-spirited action film of the holiday season. What's mean-spirited about it? It's not like the Predator is killing women or killing kids. He's killing drug dealers. He killed one good cop. He's going to kill some Jamaican drug dealers. What's so mean-spirited about it? Like you say, people say, what the hell does that mean? I know what it means, mean-spirited, but what's mean-spirited about Predator 2? Because it has actually some balls. Because hey, violent shit happens when you have a predator with a fucking gauntlet. He's not using that to butter bread. Maybe you want the predator to butter your ass. Roger Ebert, 2 out of 4 stars. It represents an angry and ugly dream. And the creature's design had racist undertones, where subliminal clues encourage us to subconsciously connect the menace with black males. Maybe in your fucked up mind, Roger Ebert, but no. Not really. Dumb fuck. I mean, I'm sorry. Roger Ebert, may rest in peace, but when you say stupid shit like that, you're a dumb fuck. I thought this guy who played Teen Willie always did a good job. Yeah, I'm trying to see what the actor's name. Calvin Lockhart. He did a good job as Teen Willie. And this is one of those films that it really, you gotta have some time to slow down, because if you literally action every 2 minutes, then it's a sugar rush. It's going to run off. It's going to run out, and then you're going to be like drowsy, and you need to have some type of pacing. But even moments like this, when you give me characters I like, a la Danny Glover, nice lighting, Kevin Lockhart, I know I've seen him in stuff before. He was in Coming to America, The Beast Must Die. I think that's where I saw him. Uptown Saturday Night. Yeah, he was the lead guy in The Beast Must Die with Peter Cushing, where he invites a group of people into this mansion and he thinks one of them is a werewolf and he has to try to find out who it is. That's what this guy, yeah, he was the lead in that movie, The Beast Must Die. I remember that. And I thought this was a really cool effect. You know, a cloaked predator going through the water like this. I thought that was really cool. And I think the effects still hold up. I don't think it looks cheesy, which I hate that fucking word. It doesn't look weird, doesn't look out of the ordinary. It looks perfectly fine. And yeah, T Willie doesn't he doesn't make it, man. Yeah, he's not having he's not gonna have any more birthdays. And this was I want is it because of this why people say he was mean spirited? Be you get to see how he cleans the head for his skull, and I thought that was I like that because I'm a man. It's R rated. It's not PG, and it wasn't fucking Maniac with Tom Savini opening the guy up slowly and seeing everything. You got enough of it, such a oof, but it wasn't meticulous. There was a good balance on it. I think it worked perfectly fine. And Morgan Downey Jr., he played a great scumbag, just a guy you loved it, you just want to hate. And when Danny Glover knocks him the fuck out, it's just a good crowd pleasing moment. Which I know he's no longer with us. I think he passed away 2001. I know he had his trash TV thing called Morgan Downey Jr. Show, which is why he got hired for this. And just good support. Maria Conchita Alonso, she's strong. She's not annoying. She's not irritating. And of course, she was in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I enjoyed her in. I enjoyed her in that film, and I enjoyed her in this as well. And Danny Glover just had that energy and that passion in his role. He gave a fuck. He was these people who hate Danny Glover. You can't say he's sleepwalking, but for some reason, like he doesn't fit the role. He doesn't fit the role of a cop, but everyone loves Lethal Weapon. I don't understand that. Doesn't fit the role of a cop. Well, I don't buy him going up against the Predator. Is he doing fucking 360 hurricane kicks? Is he doing Akito moves on the Predator? Is he body slamming him? No. He's using weapons because he's in the city. He's using his wits. He's using his head. Thought it was a nice little touch. Like I have all the animals stuffed and sort of him like either he could be one of them or that's what the predator wants, trophies like these animals in this behind this glass. That's another bit about the new Predator coming out. They have this lead kid, which I know the rumor is might be an autistic kid who is smart and does shit. And I'm like, if you want a kid in the movie, have it be like this. Where, I mean, that's the thing about the Predator. He has a code. Doesn't kill women who's pregnant. Won't kill this kid because it's not a real gun. He hunts for sport. That makes the Predator a little bit unique. That's as far as you need a kid in. You don't need him to be one of the stars of the fucking movie. This is enough fucking Flight of the Navigator. I always enjoyed this piece of music. It's when Bill Duke was at Jesse Ventura's body. Da, da, da. And I also like this because the Predator is fucking with him on purpose. I like that because there's a personal connection. This is your friends. I want you. We're going to fight sometime. And it's like a hunter telling another hunter soon. And I like that because it gives the Predator, just from that simple notion, some kind of personality of intelligence. He's not a mindless thing. This is your friends. I killed him. You want me. Sooner or later, we're going to battle. I mean, fucking with Danny Glover. I think that's a cool idea. That's a cool motif. And it didn't need to beat me over the head to understand it right there. And we're getting to the point where this movie is literally going to be just. It's already been a very fast paced film, but even more so when you get the Predator fucking up everybody on the train, the subway, and Bill Paxton having his great last stand moment, to just Danny Glover, trying to chase down the Predator, dealing with Keys, all the stuff in the slaughterhouse, T's men getting killed, Danny Glover being a badass, shooting the shit out of him, chasing the Predator throughout all this stuff, one-on-one fighting. I mean, knocking down Warren Downey Jr. with a fuck you to the fist, to the face. And this whole thing here. He's got a cap gun. I just like the idea here where everybody has a gun. Which maybe that's today's age. Loosen your speeders. And I like this. I like the Predator being on this subway, and people were confused. They didn't know what was going on. No, nowadays you're confused. Here, I understand perfectly fine. Because the camera's in one spot. And the editing is fine. And like the Predator is throwing people around. People are trying to shoot. And this guy gets it right in the neck. And just again, this Predator's a badass. Like, here's all these guys. It's like, is this the Predator or is this the Punisher? Just choking the shit out of this guy. No one would want to be on this subway. Like, this subway is gonna be painted. Its walls gonna be painted red. And Bill Paxton, he's trying to do the right thing, to get out of there. And this Predator just does not fuck with people. Again, slamming a guy's head right through the fucking glass of the subway. And you have one poor guy who gets shot, and all these even civilians, the Predator just fucking their day up, tearing them apart. And Bill Paxton, I mean, this is his last stand, but you could ask, well, why doesn't he just go with them where he's trying to waste the Predator's time for them to get enough far away up there, and it's like, look over here, pay attention to me while the others get away. So he dies a hero, the best that he can. And the thing is, when you watch the first film, that entire team leveled an entire jungle trying to shoot the Predator, and he got just nicked. So who knows if small arms fire really does a lot to the predator's skin. Like, the one time Dangler is a heavy duty shotgun up close and personal. Even then, he fired like 10 times and the predator still got up. So who knows how just this, always got this golf ball for luck. But he doesn't go, like in Aliens and Hudson, he goes down like a man. That didn't sound right. But he goes out like a man. He's go out swinging. Come on, motherfucker. Let's dance. And all we hear his scream. We didn't need any more to it. And we do see the aftermath. But sorry, now I'm watching the film. But I never understood why this film got so much hate. It's not like the first film has a different feel, has a different look, has a different momentum. The first Predator made sense as a build up because we don't know what the Predator is, we don't know what it's doing, and we're finding out like the characters are. But when you go in the sequel, we already know that. If you're seeing the sequel, you've seen the first one. So a different location made sense. Now all the time they just want to go back in the jungle like predators. It's the same thing. I thought that was the point with sequels. People don't want the exact same thing. There's that notion, the same but different, which is hard to do, but you could say this is the same but different. It's different in the city. It's same in the fact that you have a badass group of people. You have a finale where the good guy and the predator face off, and then there's some type of explosion, either the thing on the arm or the ship blasting off, and the hero get blasted. There are similarities, but it still has its own different, unique film. Why was that such a bad thing? I don't want to see another jungle. See the urban jungle. And this guy on the, yeah, just bodies all over. Like, the predator don't fuck around. But in a weird way, it does have this code where, okay, this woman's pregnant, so he's not going to kill her. That kind of stuff, I mean, just like in the first one, no sport. If you don't have a weapon, kill you because there's no sport. And they added to that. Okay, it won't kill a kid who has a toy gun, won't kill a woman who's pregnant. They add to it. The sequel adds new toys, little adds the predator fucking with the Danny Glover with his buddy's necklace. And Danny Glover, he's got energy, he's got passion, he's worried about her. I mean, he's worried about his friend. Can put two and two together. Like, wait a minute, she's pregnant? Oh shit. Doesn't have to overdo it, say it all in his face. He's a normal guy in a shitty situation, doing the best that he can. For people who hate Danny Glover, name one moment in this movie that he does that's over the top. Is he flying through the sky? Is he jumping from rooftop to rooftop like he's Spider Man? No. He's doing anything that a cop can. And it's the little things, like he's worried about his friend Jerry. There are many films that they will neglect those little stuff. People go, well, of course he'd be thinking of his Bill Paxton, his buddy. But there are many movies where they neglect that little stuff. Like, instead of being worried there looking, oh, where's the killer? No, he's there looking for his friend. And at an hour and 2 minutes and 20 seconds, right when he's by himself here, This entire last 40 some minutes is the third act, if you think about it. And it is one of the most fun third acts I've seen in a movie. Because this is where it's one roller coaster ride. Like the first hour has been a roller coaster ride, but here it's now him against this thing mano a mano. That's what this last is, one long drawn out battle and chase. He sees that the Predator took a trophy from Bill Paxton's character and just chasing him down, not being a coward at all, being brave, not giving a fuck. He's gonna take this guy down by hook or by crook. He's using camouflage, and I mean, Mason's people wouldn't really see him. It's not like Danny Glover's going to climb up that tree and then climb up here and do that. No, he's looking. He's specifying, seeing what's going on. This is what I'm talking about. Fuck you. Fuck you. Love that. It's like Peter Weller at the end of Leviathan. Just those fuck you punches. Definite crowd pleaser. Well, he's chasing with the car, and he's going to be knocked out, and he's going to be dragged by tees, and watch the massacre happen on TV where the Predator gets to kick some ass, then he gears up and he kicks some ass, and then elevates the one-on-one battle. It's Miller time, Miller Lite, or whatever that sign said. Something light, L-I-T-E. I know in all the marketing, this is definitely a shot you would see coming up where he's standing there and the lightning comes down, or you'll see in a little bit. After these assholes knock Danny Glover out, fuck with them. These assholes. Driving fucking Chevrolet trucks. There's the shot I'm talking about, right there. That's the shot you see in all the advertising for the film. It's a great shot, too. I like the red lighting touch in this room as well, which gives you a little bit of vibe of Aliens. As well as that whole control center where you see the lifelines and people getting picked off one by one on camera. Which that's not a bad thing. Compared to Aliens, it's not a bad thing because Aliens is a damn good movie. Maybe that's why James Cameron likes the film. If he still does, who knows? Maybe he changed his mind. Because I remember at one point James Cameron said he liked Alien vs. Predator, and now he says he didn't. So who knows if he still does it? But and Gary Busey just sells his role so well. Because this is talking about the first film, but the elite special forces. There were two survivors. So it shows that the first film did happen. And I think in the background, I think on one of the screens you can see the woman from the first movie, Elpidio Carrillo, which I think there was an up close shot where there she is. Now she's gone, but like she talked in front of a camera, and that was cut out. He's on safari, the lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my! He wants trophies. You're the lion. This is his jungle. I love that, but I don't find it silly or goofy. I find it fucking fun. Well, even when he goes, a fucking alien. I mean, Gary Busey, once again, I don't think he's sleepwalking. He's giving it all he's got, and he's a great, different kind of character than what we saw in anything in the first Predator. Now, of course, it makes sense. His government wants to capture him for scientific reasons to study. And I think it's a good way to give Danny Glover sort of info about this predator, but done still in a way that's not boring. I mean, you have Gary Busey delivering the dialogue, the editing cutting to the different cameras, and how this team's going to be wiped out, and how they want to freeze the fucker. And it shows they're going to be up shit creek pretty soon. And also it makes sense, I guess, the predator would have to eat sometime, some way. How would the predator eat? So why wouldn't it go back to this meat packing place? And so I thought, I thought, a slaughterhouse, considering it's a predator, I think slaughterhouse maybe seemed like an obvious place for a predator to be, but it works well. It works well with the environment. Yeah, some nice lighting here. See who did the cinematography for this. Peter Levy. I think he did a great job with the cinematography here. He's Australian. Oh, he worked with the director a lot. Number on Elm Street 5, Judgment Night, Lost in Space. He also did Cutthroat Island. Does a good job on the cinematography. What's interesting, there was a novel on this movie, and from what I understand, the novel, a good portion of it was from the Predator's point of view, which I thought sounds pretty interesting. And there were video games for this on Sega Genesis in 1992, which I've never played, but I've seen little playthroughs on YouTube. But I've never played it. Which was published by Acclaim through its Arena Entertainment label and developed by Teeny Weeny Games. In the game, players guide Lieutenant Mike Harrigan as he tracks the Predator through 7 levels based on the film, while facing several drug gangs and rescuing civilian hostages before they fall prey to the alien hunter. It's played on a top-down perspective, simulating a third-person isometric view. Pretty much, you're looking down, and the character can go sideways, like this way or this way. You look down on him, and anyway, just look on YouTube. I'm sure there's 100 of them. And nice get-ups with the type of lighting. And that's another thing coming up with the Predator is, for some reason I remember reading somewhere, not that the Predator can make different noises, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. I might be thinking of a different movie. But like I was saying, is that the coming up you can see that the Predator can have different types of vision with his helmet, which I thought was a cool idea, but it makes sense too. So he can't see the heat vision, but it knows something's there. So it just makes me go, okay, what are these other visions that the Predator? What do these different visions see? Which would be interesting. You give more to the character of the Predator, to the species. Is being a hunter, is being agile, going through the rafters. It's smart and knows something's up because he heard something. Still a great work by Stan Winston. See, here's the different visions. Like, he visions working. Like, what's that one where it's all black? Or this one where it looks like everything's on fire. But there he can see the lights. He's shooting out the lights. But you just see all the lights there. I don't remember what the Predator says there, but it's almost like its own voice. When he's looking at his hands, I'm not sure what dialogue that is, but it does sound like its own voice. I forget what the hell he says in that. But Danny Glover's trying to do the right thing. He's like, he sees the lights. He's trying to help out. But you guys don't want to listen, fine, he'll do it on his own. Open the fucking door. Go fuck yourself. Such a great action hero character. And this is one of the best lines he has. Fuck yourself! That's just one of those clips I would use for so many things nowadays. Fuck yourself! And once again, this Predator is a badass motherfucker, but so is Danny Glover. He's going to get everything geared up. Let me get my shotgun. Let me get, a bulletproof vest. Some type of armor. And he just, man, look at this. He goes down. And look at this. He just goes to town on everybody with his spear. And this is, they're just throwing people around. Like, if you want to make a Predator badass, this is showing that the Predator is a formidable foe. Just how he's agile and uses it against them and takes them apart like a hunter. Shows his skills. Shows what he can do. Shows that he's not... Like, when you think about it, in Predators, right? The last film, Predators. Every time a super predator went against someone, they got killed. One super predator went against a guy with a sword, he got killed. Boom. Another guy, the Spetsnaz, got killed. This predator is killing all these different people because it shows how skilled he is. Spear, now he shoots with his fucking cannon. Then he's going to do this with the disc. It shows that the predator is skilled. He's not an idiot. You're supposed to show that your villain is capable. You don't show the villain capable. How is the super predator super when he goes up against one human and dies just like that? Or pretty quickly. Super Predator did not really take out too many people. And there's 3 Super Predators. 3 of them. And they couldn't take out Adrian Brody and Topher Grace and I forget the actress's name. Really? Can't say Danny Trejo because he was one of the first ones to go. Come on now. And Danny Glover's ready to go kick some ass. Love this. Light the tires, light the fires. And see, I like this. The Predator knows this is the guy who I want. That's a worthy foe. Fuck Gary Busey. He doesn't even look, just shoots. Because this is the guy who I want. This is the worthy foe. That's the one who I want. And Danny Glover is still like, you want me? Here I am. He doesn't have to take off his shirt and put a fucking mud and go, do it now, and copy Arnold like Adrian Bidnose Brody did. He has his own way of doing it. He's more badass than Adrian Brody. Danny Glover could kick Adrian Brody's ass. Shove that fucking grenade up his ass. He's fucking him up, shooting with a machine gun. Now I'm just explaining what's on screen, but it's just... how can I don't understand why would people hate this movie so much? This back and forth. Machine gun? Oh, you don't shoot at me? I won't shoot this my Batman thing at you. Oh, you hit me by that fucking armor, motherfucker. I'm gonna get you with a shotgun. I like the setting. I like the. It's not like it takes place in a fucking shopping mall. People, oh, it's in the city. Does it take place in a fucking shopping mall? Did it take place at a fucking Bloomingdale's? No. Danny Glover shot a fuck over the predator. See, and he's acting normally. He's not acting like He-Man. He's acting like a normal person, doing the best that he can. And he's acting hurt. He's acting tired. He's acting. There's nothing superhuman about Danny Glover's character. So again, I don't understand why people had such a bad thing up their ass for. It's Danny Glover. Let me lead you here so I can blow you away with my shotgun up close. Which makes sense because he's a cop. He has access to those weapons. If you're rolling up against that, put as many fucking weapons as you can in your hand. I thought that was really great editing with the way the shotgun to blast to the predator back and forth. See, that's a version of good editing. Bad editing would be films like Taken 2, Taken 3, Columbiana, those kind of films. That's bad editing. Some of the Bourne films, I would say, is some wonky editing. The Jason Bourne films, which I'm not really a fan of. Also, another thing, a lot of times when they do sequels or reboots, they throw so many fucking references down your throat to the previous film, like Predators, Long Tall Sally, the whole ending with a guy in mud, do it now, falling down the fucking waterfall, hearing about what happened in the fucking first film that the woman explains in a monologue. You got Peter T saying there were two survivors. You got that bit here. The only other reference is maybe this little bit line coming up where, you one ugly motherfucker. That's it. You don't need 15. You don't need 50. Which is what films like Predators and other films feel like they do. I like that they give a little bit different design for the Predator. Roger Ebert, I don't know why you thought there was any racist undertones. You do know that the lead is black, Roger Ebert. I know you passed away, but you know. I like the fact Predator says motherfucker. He's pissed. I like again give a little bit character to the Predator, just shattering his shotgun, just being pissed at what happened. I like that. A little personality to him. Sorry, now I'm watching the film again. Can't help it. But Gary Busey does a great job. I've said that repeatedly for everybody in this film. But I find nothing wrong with the movie. It goes at a great pace. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's well directed. Nice burn makeup on Gary Busey's face. And this whole disc thing, I wonder if this had some edits to it where I guess it. Boom. Fucked up his day, man. I don't know if it looked like it cut his head off or cut a good chunk of his body in half. Like, did it cut Gary Busey's head off or did it cut like a good chunk of his body? See, that's why I'm wondering if that was one of those edits that they showed more of a decapitation or something, then they had to frame it a different way. Maybe. I don't know. But I still brutal. And just this great cat and mouse chase. Surveilling the environment and being relatable because we can all relate more to a city than the jungle. We all have a roof, we all have the streets. When it gets to the apartments or the underground, we're getting to the birds. Yeah, birds. Damn birds. Fucking birds. I thought that was a cool idea in the first film, giving the predator that kind of almost like the reanimator liquid, that for blood. It's like I see that blood, I'm like, oh my god, it's fucking Jeffrey Combs got them. This is nice back and forth. Okay, I'm gonna dodge a spear, then I'm gonna shoot back. This is equal back and forth. It's not too one-sided, which to me is good for a fight. It's good for a battle. In this moment, I mean, just the shit like Danny Glover's character has, just having your arm literally being pulled by a predator, and you tell it's bloodied up and just and calling the predator pussy face. I love that. And we've seen the first film, so we know where this is going. Just gonna blow everything to Kingdom Come. And right, Danny Glover wouldn't know, but at the same time, when you see this beeping and it's going backwards, and the predator starts laughing, you know something's bad gonna happen. You don't have to have subtitles to know what the hell that means. Just the predator's not laughing that much, but I mean, you still get the point. Why not just cut the fucking predator's arm off and then slide all the way down to grab it? And it shows how tough the predator is too. That even though he got his arm cut off, he's still going to keep on fighting and going to heal himself and isn't going to just give up even after it's fucking. And it shows how tough Danny Glover's character is. And there's some good stunt work by whoever's in that predator suit, going all the way down and slamming into the wall. God, just picture nowadays there'd be so much CGI work they would put in there when they could do it today, just like this. Just you cannot get more real than real. Real stunt work, real glass, real stuntmen in suits. But this film also has a levity to it. Like coming up when Danny Glover's going down the thing is like, babe, I'll get lucky and fall. And then later on, we'll get to that where the woman in the apartment. Yeah, Mike Harrigan always been an underrated character, and Again, people could say, really, man, you don't call this the most underrated sequel of all time? Well, what candidates would you have? Predator 2? Yeah, here, maybe I'll get lucky and fall. Now, Liz, you get to see a bit more of the. You saw a bit of this in the original when the Predator was hurt, but you get to see a bit more of this sort of doctor surgical tools, which I think is cool. You're adding something to the Predator mythology, but it makes sense. He would have something for in case of injury. You have this blue stuff. You have the. I think it's pretty cool. Always enjoyed it. And back in the day, if you think about nowadays, how many big budget, at the time this was a good budget film, do you see going to theaters that was R rated and it's a creature feature? Really, it's an action horror film, but it's a creature feature. How many do you get nowadays? Nowadays, they would just go direct to video. They would look cheap. They would be filmed cheap. I mean, I guess the only one is Alien Covenant because Ridley Scott's directing it, which does utilize a lot of CGI. I could tell that quite a few times the xenomorph is CGI. Actors, not all the time, but there's quite a few times when the creature's like running around, it's CGI work, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah. I know. I can't judge it until I see it, so I'm not going to say much about Alien Covenant. But considering how much I disliked Prometheus, I really have no. And AVP, and I just have no interest. And this new Predator film, after Predators, no. And having a kid in the lead, and one of the Key and Peele guys. But hey, maybe they're surprised. I hope they surprise me. That's what people don't get. I want to be surprised. I love to be surprised. That's the best feeling. And the Predator just goes ape shit. The best feeling is to be surprised. I wasn't sure about Captain America Civil War or even John Wick 2, but they surprised me. So right, I'm a cop. I don't think he gives a shit. So there's some nice levity to it as well. It's not 1%. I don't think it's as mean spirited as Twitter's made it out to be. There's that little moments of levity, but it's not that in your face with it. And Danny Glover's character, he's fun. It's just, man, not again. Shit. He just got. Why can't this guy stay on the ground? Yeah, just why does he have to go in? And that was one thing they mentioned. You got a bit earlier in the film. If you paid attention, when he's looking down after that guy gets shot, Danny Glover shoots him off. He's not. You could tell by his reaction he doesn't like heights. And here's two moments he's got to deal with heights. So there's little moments you pick up. You didn't need some 5-minute dialogue about, well, I have a fear of heights because of what happened here. No, you get it just from the reaction of the characters. And this character goes through a lot of shit. Just falling down this hole and boom, landing right there. And this was another cool thing, having a look inside the Predator ship. Cool design on the walls that you did not need to be, oh, they're. When they did AVP and all of a sudden it became fucking Stargate, with, oh, the Egyptians and the pyramids and shit. I'm thinking, what the fuck talking about? Love the fog. Of course, there's that video on YouTube where they were having fun after the movie, and they would do like this song and dance number just to ease some tension. It's on YouTube, just on sort of a dad reel type of thing. It was nice to see Danny Glover get this kind of role and get this kind of. I mean, this was many years before Will Smith got to do it in films like Independence Day and Men in Black, or Wesley Snipes got to do it in Passenger 57 or Blade. You know, Danny Glover got to be in this studio film, R rated, being the hero, being the badass. But no one wants to give Danny Glover credit. And this is another cool thing, having one of the skulls, one of the trophies. I mean, you have this weird T-Rex type of thing, and you have a xenomorph. You know, that's a, like, oh shit moment. And of course, one of us. And again, more great back and forth. Well, he's got the net thing, but he's got that really cool frisbee type of weapon. And again, this is actual one-on-one back and forth, and it makes sense because the Predator has one arm, so they made it so that it's more understandable how Danny Glover can go against this guy. And this guy getting beat up and shredded. Look at Danny Glover; he's bloodied up down and center. Even here, like, you know, slice there is blood on his face, blood on his arms, blood on his chest. It's not like he's got, oh, I got a paper cut and that's all it was. And he uses his head as a cop. He uses his head. He plays, you know, he's the mouse. You know, he plays dead, and then, so you're right. You know, shit happens. Brand the clincher. And it's cool because it's a different kind of death for the Predator. They didn't carbon copy the death of the first film. It was trying to be its own movie. I love that. That's right, asshole. Shit happens. How is that not crowd pleasing to people? And Danny Glover did it on its own, on a one-on-one fight. Come on now. That's bad fucking ass. Fucking badass. That's how you do it. Sorry, now I apologize. Now I've just been describing and watching the film or just reacting. But I didn't work on the film, so I can't have that many amounts of insight to it. And I'm also not the type of guy that usually goes into the pontifications of how the media and how the lifestyle was in 1990 when this came out. That's not how I view movies. You view a popcorn movie, a badass movie as, am I having fun? Yes. This is a really cool idea. Yeah, of course there's going to be more than one Predator. So let's get to see more than one Predator. That's really cool. Different looks, different designs. Some have helmets on, some don't. Some have different kind of looking helmets. One has little beads, and Danny Glover's still badass in. Like, okay, who's next? So he does sort of the Bill Goldberg. Which probably means they were watching the fight while being cloaked. They were watching. It's like, okay, what's this going to happen? You're like, oh, nice job. Which again makes the predator species interesting with this certain code that they have. Like, hey, this guy won one-on-one fight. Okay, then. It's not like Danny Glover cheated. It's not like. I thought this is a really cool aspect too. They did trophies, so they give Danny Glover a certain trophy. As a fan of Predator, I think it gives more to the mythology. The fact they've been around since 1715, maybe even before that, and almost just the idea of maybe the humans are one of their favorite species to hunt because they think of the humans as one of the more worthy foes in the universe, which kind of makes me feel good as a species that you would be one of the worthy guys of the universe, that the predators keep coming back. And again, I keep repeating that because I will never understand why this film to this day still gets so much hate. When Predators 2010 came out, Robert Rodriguez, I want to write and produce the Predator sequel you guys deserve. I'm like, I got that. It's this movie. You remaking the first movie is not the sequel people want. Maybe it is. I don't know. Me, I want this movie. This is the sequel I deserved. I'm glad I have it. I really do wish I could meet Danny Glover and just shake his hand and be like, you know what, man? Me and a lot of people love what you did. And I hope you're proud of it because you should be. Same with Stephen Hopkins. Same with anyone. And of course, Bill Paxton, the reason I'm doing for this, who did do a great job in this flick. And it's also nice when you see your hero just battered up and down. And like you saw Arnold in the first one, he was battered up and down. John McClane, the first Die Hard, battered up and down. I just It just shows how much your lead character has gone through literal hell. He's had one long night. That's a badass motherfucker. And if this film was a hit, I would love to have been seeing a Predator 3 in like 1993. Just 87 to 90, then 1993. Or what the fuck happened in there? And Adam Baldwin is pretty much the only one who didn't die from Gary Busey's crew. I thought this was a great last line. Don't worry, asshole. You'll get another chance. I mean, they will come back. There's a great last shot coming up here, just showing sort of all the chaos, the lone hero standing alone, and Elvis Silvestri store. But even let's say 95, let's say 5 years after, do a Predator 3. Honestly, I would love to have seen Jean Claude Van Damme. Because Arnold and you have Danny Glover, and then Van Damme would have been a different kind. And I know he did Sudden Death, but honestly, I would prefer him doing a Predator 3 than Sudden Death, like in that timetable. And hell, you could have a different location for that. Let that be like like tape Van Damme's death warrant, but put in a different setting. Maybe that's what you do, introduce the cold and the snow and the predators within all these criminals, but then Van Damme, he's either a guy who was innocent or he's undercover. Just, I just remade Death Warrant, but have it be in the cold. Or I just think of like a good version of Alien 3, like that prison planet, but like a prison populace, but have a predator in there and have Van Damme as a good guy and not have everyone die at the end. But but I mean, there's a lot of places for Predator 3, but not Predators. And The Predator, again, having a little kid who has a yellow jacket as if he's fucking Jubilee from the X-Men cartoon. I hope it proves me wrong. And that's what people don't get about me. I would love for a movie to prove me wrong. That's the best feeling. But yeah, this film, I'm one of the best sequels of all time, in my opinion. The most underrated sequel of all time. I'm extremely fast paced, great direction, editing, music by Alan Silvestri, excellent cast, wonderful role by Danny Glover, fun bits of dialogue, memorable lines, badass moments, badass hero, great finale, confrontation, showdown. The money's on the screen. It's R rated. It doesn't pull back. It's pretty much what I did. I went on IMDb. I looked at user reviews of people who like it, who love it. Give some shout outs. Nerpacula. What the fuck is wrong with people? Predator 1 had more Arnie than Predator. This movie simply has more Predator. It greatly expanded the Predator universe and franchise. It introduced a whole new bunch of Predator weapons, tactics, and behavior which never seemed out of place and were perfect fits. It explored the race further. All these were added to full effect in PC games, which were smash hits. So imagine how horrible it would be if this movie never happened. The urban steel jungle setting contrasts against the previous jungle setting and is a major plus for this movie. It was realistic and gory. This movie's fantastic, and a few ignorant critics just want to bring it down by comparing it with the uniqueness of the original. Lebowski T1000. I just watched this movie again tonight. For the first time in a long time, I have to say this movie is great. I actually think I like Predator 2 just as much, if not more, than the original. The action sequences are interesting. It does much more with developing and explaining the Predator. I genuinely love this movie. I don't know what it is about this movie that just doesn't sit well with a lot of the reviewers on this site, but I loved it. Neo Jenner at Hot. Well, that's an email. Neo underscore Jenner. I've always loved this movie ever since I saw it way back in 1990 in the theater. It has well developed characters, more detailed backstory, and compelling setting, and actually a developed story. You may not realize it when you're watching it, but the climax of this movie is nearly 45 minutes long. That's what I said. Starting from the subway shootout, the tunnel chase, the street roof chase, the slaughterhouse fight, the rooftop fight that spills into the apartment building across the street, the elevator shaft, and finally to see the Predator ship itself. It's a breathless series of action sequences strung together so well that it's almost astonishing to look back on it and imagine such effort was crafted to make this movie. I agree. Brant says, too hip for the room? Predator 2 is an example that breaks the supposed trend that sequels are never as good as their predecessors. I think Predator 2 is a brilliant film, better than the first film. The cast is quirky and excellent. The music, special effects, and every other technical aspect are also excellent. The director permeates the film with images of voyeurism, hidden views, reflections, veiled appearances, and so on of the predator. Giving us more about his character and how he works. I could go on. I'm not the only one who likes Predator 2. Predator 2 is a fantastic movie. Just want to show a handful of user reviews. I'm not the only one who loves the film. Anyone who, if somehow, some way, someone who's worked on the film sees this, you did an excellent job. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Rest in peace, Stan Winston. Rest in peace, Kevin Peter Hall. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. And thank you for making, in my opinion, the most underrated sequel of all time, Predator 2. It kicks ass, tastes names, and it's fucking awesome. Later. And Danny Glover, once again, A+. Mike Efree, kicks ass. Good night.